Good afternoon. My name is Alena Shautsova. I'm an immigration attorney from Brooklyn, New York. In today's video, I would like to talk to you about asylum and specifically about how to win your asylum case using presenting arguments regarding fear of future persecution. You may be aware that in the United States, to win your asylum case, you have to demonstrate past persecution or demonstrate reasonable fear of future persecution. When you have demonstrated past persecution, there is a presumption of future persecution. But sometimes that presumption can be rebutted by the government, or perhaps you simply have not suffered past persecution. It's possible, for example, if you when you left your country, you were not considered to be a refugee and you didn't have plans seeking asylum, but then the situation changed. Or perhaps some other circumstances forcing you to file for asylum at this particular moment, and you really cannot demonstrate past fear, past persecution. So what one will do if and how one will show that he or she has that necessary requirement of fear of future persecution. So first of all, we look at what that fear has to be, right? What is it the government is looking for when they ask you to demonstrate, or it's your burden to demonstrate that fear of future persecution. The law says that you have to show that you have fear on account of protected grounds for asylum in the United States, nationality, race, membership in a particular social group, religious or political opinion, that there is a reasonable possibility of suffering harm or persecution, and reasonable possibility is usually, we're talking about 1 chance out of 10, and the person has to demonstrate that they are unable or unwilling to return to the country of their last abode or the nationality, because either that country's government is going to persecute them, or the government is unable or unwilling to control the persecutor, a person, group who's going to be inflicting harm upon you. So when they really speak about the fear, they would like you to demonstrate subjective and objective fear. Subjective fear means that you are afraid to go back, okay? And they're going to evaluate your credibility here. Your fear has to be credible and honest, okay? And of course, with any subjective category, they're also going to look at objective component of your fear. If the fear is based on objective threats, objective reality, not just on rumors, not on isolated incidents and reports. Here, the country conditions reports are going to be very helpful. Expert opinion reports are going to be very helpful. Witness statements, but also your actions will be evaluated. Were you really afraid? How long you remained in the country? What I call here is the analysis of 3 R's. Remaining in the country, returning to the country, relocation in the country. So they're going to be looking at how long you remained in the country after you received threats. And here it's very, very subjective in my opinion, because there is a case law that says that when the person remained in the country for 2 months after he received threats, that was too long for him to stay in his home country for that long. And then there is a case law that says when the person remained for 6 years after, it was okay, that he still could win his asylum claim. Returning voluntarily to your home country, that's going to be looked at if you returned back to your home country. So for all those who are planning on or would like to travel outside of the United States for a visa interview, in connection, for example, with a 1DV lottery case or employment-based petition, and those who have asylum pending cases, please be aware that when you voluntarily return to your home country, your claim can be challenged, your credibility can be challenged, okay? In addition to problems that may occur in your during the interview, you may face an issue of losing your asylum claim completely and being accused of fraudulent asylum claim or frivolous asylum claim. So you have to be aware of that risk, and where possible, you have to ask National Visa Center to change your consulate where you're going to go for the visa interview to a third country consulate. Okay, that's possible. It's not easy to do, but it's possible to accomplish. So they're going to look at the government, they're going to look at subjective fear, objective fear, but there is more to that. There is a case law that came out in 1987, matter of Maghrabi, that is analyzing, it provides the four-step analysis to see if you actually can establish, you can meet criteria of future persecution. So according to that law, the government is going to look at the following factors. If you possess a belief or characteristic that the persecutor seeks to overcome, here is very interesting that characteristic or belief may be imputed to you by the persecutor. It means that, for example, there is a group of people, the government, who believe that you are in opposition to them. You're not, but they believe that you are because, for example, your friend is in a position, okay, involved in a position, and because based on that belief, they're trying to target you as well. All right, so belief can be yours or can be imputed to you. That's one factor in analysis. The second one is if the persecutor is aware or can reasonably become aware of your belief or characteristic. For example, you decided to convert to a different religion, but you didn't tell anyone about that, and you're not practicing, you're not going to practice your religion openly. So the question would be how they will know that now you are different, right? That's an example of this factor. The third factor is if the persecutor has a capability of harming you. Here, the law looks at who the persecutor is. Is it a government? Is it a group or individual that the government is unable or unwilling to control? And the fourth factor is the persecutor's inclination to harm you. And here they're going to be looking at what the persecutor did to people in similar situations, okay? People like you, again, country conditions report, witness statements. Remember, there is a question on asylum form if you are aware of others who were harmed in a similar way. Those are the four factors. I have to say that in practice, they're not so easy to meet, okay? Plus, remember about 3 R's that the government is going to use to challenge your claim. Remaining in the country, returning to the country, relocation, if you can safely relocate to a different area in your country, safe third country. That's another step in analysis nowadays that can be used by the government to defeat your fear of future persecution. So all that comes into play in addition to some other factors. I already discussed a little bit the returning back to your home country. By the way, returning back to your home country is not 100% killer of your asylum claim, but it will put a serious dent in your case. So whenever possible, do not go back to your home country, okay? Possession of a passport or valid travel document from your home country is also something that government sometimes trying to allege to defeat your claim. And there are multiple sources on the subject, because basically nowadays, of course, if you don't have passport, most likely you will not be able to leave the country. That's how it works, right? Because most of us probably would have to fly to get to the United States. And here, though, they're going to be looking at if the governmental body that was issuing the passport to you, is it the same one that is persecuting you, involved in the persecution, right? Or is it a totally separate department that has no idea what's going on with you? If you obtained your passport, for example, through a bribe, right, just to get out, you did anything and everything possible to get out. So many lawyers would advise a person who has an expired passport not to apply for its extension or renewal at your home country's consulate while you are waiting for your asylum, because that may be regarded as an act of asking for protection from the country you're asking asylum from. All right, so the bottom line is that there are many factors that are going to come into play when we are speaking about fear of future persecution. It's a very important component of your asylum claim. Unfortunately, it's heavily legalized, meaning that you really need to meet some legal criteria that if you are not prepared, you're not an attorney, you wouldn't know about, okay? Some details. The problem is that some details of and circumstances of your claim can be very important, more important than you may think. You may omit them during a testimony and presentation, and they may play a huge role in ultimate success of your case. I hope this presentation was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm sharing videos almost daily on various aspects of United States immigration laws. And please visit our website for more information, where you can find blogs on also various topics. The website address is www, my last name, Shautsova.com. Thank you.